Hello, babies. Welcome to Diaper Diaries, Mommy's original short stories. Please like, subscribe, and click the bell so you won't miss a new episode when uploaded. There are links in the description below to my erotic diaper ebooks, eBay store for goodies, with the newest edition of plushy mood buddies as seen on TikTok, Twitter, and Buy Me a Coffee, where any donations are always very much appreciated. This is ABDL Diaper Diary, episode 20. Naughty or nice? Now get your bot and blankie and enjoy the story. Once upon a snowy December in the small town of Evergreen, there lived a man named Jake who had a heart as warm as a crackling fireplace. This year he would transform into the town's most beloved Santa Claus, spreading joy and cheer to children and adults alike. One chilly evening, as the town square was adorned with twinkling lights and the scent of hot cocoa filled the air, Jake donned his red suit and white beard, ready to make spirits bright. Among the crowd was a woman named Carlie, whose eyes sparkled like the freshly fallen snow. Carlie had always been captivated by the magic of Christmas, and this year she found herself drawn to the enchanting presence of Santa Claus. Jake noticed Carlie's radiant smile, and their eyes met with an alluring invitation. With visions of sugar plums, among other things, Santa approached her with a twinkle in his eye. "Well, hello there, young lady," he boomed in his best Santa voice. "Have you been naughty or nice this year?" Carlie blushed, suddenly intoxicated by the woody scent of this sexy Santa and his daunting question. "I've been mostly nice, Santa," she replied, a playful seduction in her eyes. Santa Jake chuckled heartily. "Mostly nice, you say? Well, I suppose that's good enough for me. After all, a little mischief keeps life interesting. Make sure you line up to sit on my lap and tell me what you would like for Christmas this year." Carlie crumbled inside as her first instant thought was, "You! I want you, Santa. It's so bad, but you make me want to be naughty. I can't sit on his lap. He will fill my diaper. But oh, how I wish I could." As they chatted, the two discovered a shared love for holiday traditions, laughter, and the warmth of togetherness. The more they spoke, the more their connection deepened, and soon it felt as if the entire town faded away, leaving just the two of them surrounded by the magic of Christmas. However, Santa was the star of the night, and he must tear himself away from Carlie to work the crowd waiting for him. As the night wore on, the atmosphere became even more magical. The townsfolk gathered in the square, reveling in the joyous spirit of the season, waiting for the tree lighting. Laughter echoed, and the anticipation of a special moment hung in the air. Santa's voice echoed loudly in the crowd. "Okay, is everyone ready for this year's tree lighting? Here we go. Drum roll, please." Everyone did the da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da and waited for Santa to plug in the outlet. Although it had been checked, when decorated, and worked fine, it didn't light up. Ho, 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 what do you know?" Santa tried to play it off. "I know what's missing. Mrs. Claus couldn't be here. I need some lady luck." While he scanned the crowd pretending to pick someone, he was looking for Carlie. He spied the beautiful sparkly eyes of whom he wished was Mrs. Claus and pointed to her. You're beaming lady luck to me. Come on up and try this plug for Santa." Carlie was mortified and elated at the same time. "I've got something you can plug in, all right," blushing beet red at the thought. She moved in close to Santa. "What would you like me to do, Santa?" She gleamed up at his stare. While he couldn't help but laugh out loud at his own naughty thoughts, he gently placed the plug into her hand, brought her hand up to kiss the back of it, and said, "Maybe you should stick it in. It might just make the perfect connection," he said with a wink. Gasping inside and trying to continue to stand on jellified legs, she let out a little chuckle and bent down to place the plug in the outlet. "Please, please light," Jake thought, as if begging the real Father Christmas for a miracle. The tree lit up like a, Christmas tree, and everyone applauded and whistled and hoorayed. Santa waved out to the crowd. "Thank you, Lady Luck, you saved the night." He smiled down at Carlie and leaned in to gently kiss her rosy cheek. "All right, it is time to line up to tell Santa what you hope for this year," Jake said. Before he went over to sit in his big red chair that was shaped like a sleigh, he turned to Carlie and softly noted, "That includes you, Lady Luck," as he smiled and turned to walk away. Carlie could not figure out a way out of this situation. She wanted to sit on Santa's lap badly, but she was terrified he would feel the thick diaper she was wearing. She had been an adult diaper wearer for about 3 years now, and it was a part of her that made dating and finding someone to accept her very difficult. She was patient, though. However, she was tired of telling about herself only to see wide eyes glare upon her in terror as if she suddenly grew a third eye or a horn or something. She kept watching all the children go up one at a time and let them all going ahead of her. Santa kept glancing over at her, patiently waiting to feel her warm body against his, even if for only a brief moment. She smelled heavenly, too, like baby powder. Jake always loved the smell of baby powder. He was a kid at heart. He loved children, and he especially enjoyed making them laugh. Laughter is very important in life, he thought. Finally, the crowd had thinned out to a scarce few loitering around. Carlie made the ultimate decision to just go in for it. Forming relationships is a lot like the lottery, she thought. You can't win if you don't play. She walked up slowly toward Santa Jake. He finished listening to little Jessica ramble on about how good she had been this year and wanted lots of Polly Pockets. As she got up and left, he noticed Carlie was next. Santa's been waiting for a naughty girl, he said with a grrr of naughty anticipation in his voice. Get on over here, Lady Luck, he urged as he patted his leg. Carlie walked over sort of slowly and sat down as lightly as she could. She wrapped her right arm around his neck and leaned in to whisper in his ear. I have a confession to make, Santa. I don't think I will be getting any toys this year. Instead, I just want the real thing. With the scent of baby powder wrapped around his neck and the soft whispering of the beautiful Lady Luck, Santa couldn't help but have his pants begin to rise up. You're putting a hurtin' on me, Lady Luck. I will have to speak to you in private after all the children are gone. How in the world am I supposed to talk to them now? Santa's not supposed to be this hot and naughty. With that, he couldn't help but have his hand give her butt a lift out of his lap. He felt the extra padding she had on. Even though he was totally engrossed in the heat of the moment, he immediately knew what he felt. You see, Santa Jake wore adult diapers too. Mostly when he was dressed up, as it was extremely difficult to get into bathrooms while playing the part of Santa. Jake had discovered adult diapers when a fellow Santa had introduced him to the idea as a tip to get through the season, reducing the agony of very few, if any, bathroom breaks. The suit was big, and he was supposed to be fat anyway, so it really just helped fill it out. He had found that they worked great and even found himself using diapers other times throughout the year. He figured Carlie either had on a gigantic maxi pad or a diaper. Now, it was rare to find a fellow diaper wearer, so he was leaning on the pad. Now, Lady Luck was even more mysterious to him, and he desperately wanted to spend more time with her. All the children were gone, and Santa was relieved from his sleigh chair duty. He was walking around, sipping on cocoa, nibbling on cookies here and there. He was really on the lookout for Carlie. She had briefly disappeared. He stayed near the mistletoe in hopes of her joining him there. And it worked. He soon saw her walking up. She had been avoiding him because she was embarrassed at her naughtiness on his lap and the risen response she had felt underneath her, even through the diaper. She wasn't sure what to say to him next, but the chemistry was way too strong to ignore. She moved in closer to Jake, deep in thought, not noticing the mistletoe. Jake and Carlie found themselves both standing beneath the delicate branches of the mistletoe as Jake pointed up for Carlie to see. The soft glow of the lights cast a warm hue on their faces, and as Jake looked into Carlie's eyes, he felt that his heart was racing. Tradition, he said. The world around them seemed to fade away as he gently cupped her face and leaned in for a sweet kiss. However, as their lips met, for a few remaining participants erupted into cheers and applause. Santa's mischievous little elves, known for spreading cheer and mischief, had caught them in the act. Jake and Carlie, momentarily lost in the magic of the moment, blushed furiously at the spotlight of the townspeople fell upon them. The mischievous elves, with twinkling eyes, started chanting, "Kiss, kiss, kiss!" The crowd joined in, creating a chorus of laughter and encouragement. Despite their initial embarrassment, Jake and Carlie couldn't help but laugh along with the festive crowd. In that moment, surrounded by the joyous sounds of the winter festival, Jake and Carlie embraced the unexpected spotlight on their passionate moment. They shared another playful kiss under the mistletoe, sealing their first kiss amidst the cheers and applause of the town. As the night continued, Jake and Carlie danced beneath the starlit sky, knowing that their encounter under the mistletoe would become a cherished part of the town's holiday traditions. A tale of a stolen kiss under the mistletoe, eternally woven into the fabric of Evergreen's magical winter nights. Throughout the holiday season, Jake and Carlie continued to spend more and more time together, sharing laughter, dreams, and more stolen kisses beneath the mistletoe, only now with embraced passion. On Christmas Eve, Carlie decided to confess to Jake about diaper wearing. She didn't want this to ruin Christmas or their relationship, but she felt compelled to tell him as they had grown quite close, and she knew any moment now could be the one to have to undress in front of him. She had been wearing less diapers, especially when they were getting together, because she wanted to tell him before showing him. "Jake, we need to talk a minute." "Oh man, this never goes well. What did I do? Am I too childish for you?" "No, no. I actually like your childish side. In fact, I love it. It kind of connects to what I want to tell you. There is no easy way, so I'll just throw this out there. I wear adult diapers because I like them, not because I need them. I also like to be a little girl sometimes. I have never found anyone to play the role of daddy to me, and I have not had any successful relationships because no one understands or is willing to even learn about it." "Wow, that is a new one. I must admit, I have never heard anyone tell me that before. However, I do know about adult diapers." Jake chuckled. "What's funny?" Rather than saying anything, Jake just started pulling his pants down, revealing that he had on a diaper, and Carlie burst out laughing. "What's funny?" He mimicked her while laughing right along with her. "I don't believe my eyes." Carlie really couldn't believe what she was seeing. Not only was this man going to accept her for wearing diapers, he had on a diaper. "I must admit, I don't wear them all the time, but I thought you had one on the night of the tree lighting, and I have been expecting you to bring it up. I wanted you to be comfortable with me, so I have been wearing one every time I see you so I would be ready when you were. I had one on that night too. I usually wear one when I'm Santa. It helps a lot." Holy cow, I'm still in shock. I don't even know what to say. "Well, you could tell me more about this daddy role you wish for. That I don't have experience with, but I am more than willing to hear about it and try it out. I would love to be your daddy. This must be why you always smell like luscious baby powder. It seriously turns me on." "Let's make some hot chocolate and nestle in. I have much to introduce you to," Carlie smiled, patted Jake on his diaper, and scurried off to the kitchen. Jake trotted close behind, like a good little boy. "Wait, what if I want a mommy?" Jake seemed genuinely curious. "I might be willing to work something out. You scratch my back, I'll scratch yours, or rub yours." And with that, Carlie leaned in for a sensually teasing kiss. She began to feel Jake's bulging diaper against her body and couldn't resist him any longer. Taking him by the hand, she led him to her bedroom, ripped off his diaper, and pushed him onto the bed. "What would you like me to do?" Jake wasn't sure if he was supposed to be playing a role or just being a natural man. "Maybe you should stick it in. It might just make the perfect connection." Carlie smiled, winked, and laid down on top of him. "Touche!" As they shared a brief laugh, Jake rolled Carlie onto her back and straddled over her. "I like perfect connections," he said, as he slipped himself inside deeply. Carlie was warm and welcoming. They never indulged in the hot chocolate that night, but were very happily satiated in other ways. On Christmas Eve, under a sky filled with twinkling stars, with a twinkle in his eye, Jake said, "I may not be the real Santa Claus, but meeting you has been the greatest gift of all." Carlie smiled, her heart aglow with warmth. "You may not be the real Santa, but you're my Santa," she whispered close to his ear, only to feel his welcome rise against her. This time she could act upon it and take care of Santa's needs. And so in the glow of Christmas lights and the embrace of newfound love, Jake and Carlie's story became a cherished chapter in the town of Evergreen, a tale of love, magic, and the enchanting spirit of the season. As the snow fell softly around them, they realized that the best gifts in life were the ones that brought joy to the heart, and their hearts sure felt warm and filled to the brim. The end. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Diaper Diaries. Don't forget to check out my other links in the description below and join me for my other stories. Good night, my babies.